Okay, I'm going to be showing you how to do calculations with significant figures. Make sure you have a pen and paper handy, preferably pencil actually, and make sure you definitely have your calculator handy. Alright, start off with multiplication and division. Rather than just state the rules, I'm going to use the rules and apply it to an example. Let's say we start off with 300 grams multiplied by 28.4 grams. In this instance, you calculate it through, end up with 8,520 grams squared. Okay, in all the calculations, the very first thing you do is actually calculate it, and then I'll show you how to figure out how to calculate it with proper number significant figures. Once you've calculated your answer, you look at the original values in the problem. We have 300 and 28.4. You determine how many significant figures each one has. This one, because it's implicit, no decimal present, you start with your first non-zero and you end with the last non-zero. This gives me one significant figure. This is explicit because you see a decimal place. Therefore, you're going to start with your first non-zero, the 2, and with everything, count to everything to your right, gives me a total of 3 significant figures. Alright, you're going to round your answer to the same number of significant figures as the lowest one. So in this instance, the 1 is our lowest. So I'm going to round this to 1. That gives me an answer of 8 is my first significant figure. This becomes my rounding digit. Alright, so the 5 pushes the 8 to a 9, giving me 9,000 grams squared. This is your final answer. This is your answer rounded to one significant figure, applying the rules for multiplication and division. Let's try another example. Let's say I were to give you 68.30 centimeters squared divided by 12 centimeters. Okay, so as I said before, you're just going to do the actual calculation itself. Alright, 68.30 divided by 12 gives you 5.69166. Repeating. Alright, centimeters squared divided by centimeters gives me centimeters. Now, again, for multiplication and division alike, you count up number of significant figures in the values in the problem. This has 4, this has 2. Alright, therefore, which is the smaller one, 2, you round this to 2 significant figures. 5 is your first, your 6 is your second. This becomes my rounding digit. Therefore, that 9 pushes the 6 to a 7, giving me 5.7 centimeters. That is your answer. Multiplication division is the easier of the two. Okay, we'll do one more final one, and then I'll have you guys do one on your own and check the answer on that. Alright, later on. So we'll do another one, this time with scientific notation. Let's say we would say 2.1480 times 10 to the negative third grams multiplied by 480 grams. Okay, so again, as I said, you're going to actually enter this in your calculator and calculate it through. Times 480. 1.03104, alright, grams squared. Now again, count how many sig figs there are. You look at simply the coefficient, which is here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This gives me 5 sig figs. This gives me 2 sig figs. Therefore, I round this to 2 sig figs. My second sig fig is the 0. The 3 becomes my rounding digit, keeping the 0 as 0. Therefore, I simply write 1.0 grams squared, and that is the final answer on that. Okay, so again, hopefully the multiplication division is not too difficult. Alright, if you have any trouble with this, come see me. But try this one on your own. Alright, and I'll go over the answers with you on Monday. Say I were to tell you it's going to be a little more extensive. 3.180 grams divided by 228 grams multiplied by 400.2 grams. Okay, so in this instance, actually calculate it all through, and once you've calculated it all through, you're going to get a particular answer and apply the rules, however many sig figs each one has, and you're going to round it to the value with the smallest number of significant figures. Alright, we'll go over this on Monday. Well, that's the end for multiplication division. Next one I'm going to have is going to be addition and subtraction.